Hey guys, welcome to our review of Kishiryu Sentai RyuSoulger, episode 28. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
And Makotoa.
You're always left laughing at me at the... But yeah, we just got done watching this episode, and I personally really liked it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
It was definitely like a really enjoyable episode. I feel like the only thing that's kind of like holding me back from like really enjoying it is just like the thing that Ko had to do, which was use the Smash Soul and just hit the thing surrounding Asuna's heart and not like do any impact to the heart itself. Like, I know like the Smash power is kind of dumb in the way it works, and technically that is kind of how it works, but it just doesn't make much sense. So it's just really hard to like really get into the emotional crux of the episode if it's over something like that, like unbelievable. Like my suspension of disbelief just cannot it just barely doesn't accept that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like holding me back from, otherwise like I love everything else in this episode. So
to me, like if my brain can rationalize, oh yeah, of course it can shrink down and attack a monster inside a lung, which would not be blowing in and out air constantly, and they can just stand around in there. Like, my brain is perfectly fine rationalizing the sort of precise use of the Smash Soul, because they set up sort of like the issue, and then they set up exactly, oh, this is how you fix that problem. And
we've seen like episodes where somebody's had to go on somebody else's body and shrink down before. So I'm not like that I'm used
to.
It's
such a weird trope that has permeated
like,
a lot of media.
For reals, it's all over the place. So that's not the thing that's new. For me, it goes back to the fact that we have all of these really overpowered souls that can do different things, and somehow punching her in the chest, trying not to bust her heart open, is the way we decide to fix the problem this episode. Like, there's just too many other ways that this could have gone. I mean, they wanted to focus on the new Smash Soul, so, we're going to make that the way it's fixed. It just felt forced. And
okay, I honestly think, out of all the souls that we have, which one would have actually helped? Because like I feel like out of all the souls, the Smash one would probably be the best.
What about
but not in the way they used it? What, they're gonna put her heart to sleep? That just instantly kill her.
The monster. The monster.
Yeah, but his tail is still connected.
I mean, that's... If the monster is asleep, you could just take the tail off, ? I don't know. It just feels like there's other ways that this could have happened.
I feel like if you like disturb the tail in any sort of way, it like jostles the I don't know, tightens the grip around. I don't know.
Also, why was the heart shaped like the not actual
Because
heart?
It's visual shorthand for kids that don't actually know.
Also, she's from the RyuSoul tribe, so they probably just don't have regular human hearts.
Sure,
but I think they live so long.
Right, gotcha.
Maybe the heart shape is just more efficient for pumping blood for 200, 500 years.
Yeah, and maybe in that world, it became the heart-shaped symbol because the RyuSoulgers, a very old tribe, a very old species, used it.
This is some like hardcore lore that I'm sure our subscribers are here to.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they're absolutely here for this lore. But I want to say one more thing though. Asuna's acting this episode was another level beyond just what you'd expect from a Sentai. Like it was J-drama levels, because I actually felt like she was dying. That was a little scary.
Well, I mean, that was another thing that was able to immerse me in the actual conflict. Like, say what you will about, they could use whatever other combination of souls. I was focused on, this is the problem. This is how this episode is choosing to solve it through this soul. Like, in a vacuum, that is what this episode's conflict was, and those are the tools they were using. And I think they set up the parameters nicely by giving us that visual of like, okay, You have to destroy the net around the balloon, but not the balloon. Like, that was enough, like, real-world grounding for me to really understand, I guess, the sort of pseudoscience process that was going on in order to make the conflict work. At least for me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty effective, especially like, you know, we had the whole setup of Ko not really trusting himself because of the seeds of doubt that Nada had
Yeah.
sown.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
despite us like disagreeing on like that specific part, like this episode did a lot of other things. That was also like one that I feel like they were trying to build a little bit earlier, but they're just like, let's just like hold this back a little bit so we can do, like the Smash, RyuSoul, and just get those out of the way. And now let's kind of go back to it. And this guy is just a real jerk,
He hasn't really shown it much. Like, this was, I think, the first time he's actually been a little antagonistic. Because honestly, I don't think who's supposed to take it that hard when he says, "Oh, you're just about when you're just about ready to attack, you're a little shaky." Like, that's good advice. I don't understand why Ko is like, "Oh, so much doubt suddenly." Like, it
like,
feels like constructive criticism. Why are you taking it so hard?
Probably because he does it. He feels like he doesn't do that, so he's just like, "Wait, am I actually doing that?" And then like, it creates the doubt within itself,
So it wasn't even true.
See, it's like whenever I can't tell if you guys can hear me or not, and then I'm like, oh shoot, wait, do I need to up my audio? Do I need to close out of the video and then fix my audio and do something about it? Uh-oh. It's a subtle thing, but it really gets at you. And they had that, like, they could have done it a little more subtler, sure, but it was very plain and obvious and easy to understand, which is par for the course here.
Also, Ko's a very, emotional guy, so I'm not gonna bother with him being like that. Asuna kind of like flipping the heck out though. That kind of scared me. I was just like, wait, are we like actually watching Sentai? Like, is she?
Yeah.
Is she okay? Is she dying?
And that's okay.
But also Crayon just being a little dickwad.
Oh, I love it! That was my favorite part.
I'm a flea.
He did up a whole song and everything. Like, man, I love that guy. And we're still, like, the other bad guy is still floating around in the background.
Yeah.
We didn't even get Weisel at all this episode.
No. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah, but we got the other dude. But I just really like how they use or how they set up the Minosaurs. Like, their powers are like relatively simple, and just like Crayon just facilitates like their growth really well. Like, he knows how to like use their powers, like kind of nurture it. And then we have like the bigger dudes that also have their like schemes that kind of like follows around with. But he's just like, you know what? He really hates that nickname. I'm just gonna dance around it and just start fanning. Like, the most annoying thing. And like, the actor for the person who's afflicted by the Minosaur or whatever, he just sold it. Like, he's the one like over the top.
So
like,
far.
The stupidest nickname.
Yo, and man. Like, they did this really good thing of like making both of them like a similar, like, out there personality, so you really bought into their relationship as well at the end.
She was like, "I was so cruel to you."
Yo, so I do want to talk about Nada real quick.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
No, that was a joke because Nada's nothing. No,
that's what I was like wondering. I was like, are you actually gonna talk about him, or just gonna talk about Nada?
But no, because like we have seen him this episode at least do a few more devious things, but the last episode we saw Geizorg show up, and I think one of the bad guys was like, I'll beat you out of that armor or something, and he's like, oh, I wish I could get out of this armor. So, I mean, it can't be Nada, could it?
It's Nada.
I think so.
But like, he can't get out of the armor, or does it mean that the armor has a hold over him.
I think that's what it is. But
because
you
like
know.
he also has like a legitimate like I guess festering anger in him, and he wants the red powers.
Why have a mask on somebody that isn't important? They're gonna unmask him and just be like, "It was you." Oh wait, who are you?
Yeah, but we have a
Well,
lot
like-
of potential important people. Like we're still missing Green and Black's master. You know.
And the show has done the sort of red herring thing. I just don't want to like close the door on that, and especially since he did say like he can't get out of the armor. Like
Yeah.
that to me is I don't know. I feel like that's also an interesting struggle that they could deal with, and making it not a sort of throws
No, but
a wrench in that.
the thing is, like, there's no reason Nada couldn't be Geysorg later on if they do
Yes.
defeat Geysorg once and he takes over the powers.
Yeah,
I
I think
make
it'd be interesting.
They
Yeah.
could be working together.
Alright. Yeah. But
But you know, Geysorg never really, Geysorg doesn't participate and work together in concert with Weisel and Snotboy. But it seemed like, at least in this scheme, if Nada had set it up, he would have to have worked with Crayon on it. You know what I mean? He would have
You know,
had to set up.
This show has this show has thrown me for a loop enough times that I actually don't know who it could be.
Or
if
like
it's not.
throwing you for a loop, Pat. Guys! Thanks for watching! If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about this episode, and the watch along is up at the same time as this, so go ahead and check that out if you're so inclined. Thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
yeah.
Santa.
Santa, what?
Also, Michael, it wasn't that I didn't believe that Geysorg could be working with Nada. I just didn't want to talk about it because we're taking a little bit